Good day, everyone! Today, we will be discussing the topic of Unit 8. At this moment, I will be discussing the first topic, entitled The Family. How can we define family? Family is the single most important influence in a child's life. From their first moments of life, children depend on parents and family to protect them, provide, and provide their needs. They are child's first teachers and act as role models in how to act and how to experience the world around them. Family springs from marriage. Filipinos regards the family as the center of their lives, their primary support and the source of their moral strength and motivation. The family human society. Next is society in general. Society is a moral union of men for the purpose of attaining common end. And there are two kinds of society. The first one is the natural and positive. Natural and positive, a society which is derived from a human positive law, is a called positive society. Such are political parties, business organization, and professional groups. The second one is necessary and unnecessary. It refers to the needs of man as man. Some societies are necessary and man cannot do away with them. The family. The family is the foundational institution of society ordained by God. It is constituted by marriage and is composed of persons related to one another by marriage, blood, or adoptions. Family is the first and the most fundamental unit of the society. It is made up of the father, mother, children, and relatives. The family is a necessary society which is derived from natural law. Family consists of the people who support and love you, and the people you can confide in and trust. The family face the uncertainties of life together and help each other. Objective of the family. It is the promotion of physical and spiritual welfare of its members. It is from the family that state derives its strength and direction. It provides for the propagation and permanence of human species. Next, ideal family. Ideal family is a place of the eternal love of parents, the eternal love of husband and wife, and the eternal love of children, centering upon God. Without genuine love permeating the family, the relationship is static, and if the bond exists at all, is one which feeds on mere convenience. Genuine love in the home between parents and children provides the solid foundation of a good home, which there is understanding and helping each other. The next, the family and the child. The child is the product of love who must be reared with the tender hands of love. The child deserves to be loved and be taught how to love. The true, the great, the only right of a child is to have a real family, and, as always, divine and human laws are united in making it a holy right.
Everyone, my report is all about the education of the child. Education is the right of every child. Each child has the right to fruitful and happy life in accordance with his human dignity. So every child has the right to be educated, to be sent by their parents to school so that they can learn and they can apply what they've learned in the school. Parents are tasked with the duty to educate their child. This duty continues up to the time the child is able to provide himself. So the duty of our parents, or the duty of the parents, is to educate their child. Our parents is our first teacher, and they are responsible for every child to provide their needs when the time that the child is not yet stable or can't provide for himself. Nature intends not merely the generation of the offspring, but also it develops and advances to the perfection of a man considered as man, that is to state of virtue. According to Saint Thomas Aquinas, so when we say education, it is a state of virtue that every man, in accordance to be in, that every man need to go to school, need to be educated in advance the perfection of a man considered as man. That is the state of virtue. Society or the state has complementary duty to assist the family in the education of the child. So, society or our community complementary duty to assist the family. So, when the family is can't afford their child to send to school, there are lots of opportunities in our society. It means that our governments provided a scholarship or a full scholarship so that the child or the children can undergo or can continue their schooling up to college. The duty of the parent to educate the child is an alienable right which the state may not usurp for its own purpose. The state may not compel parents to have their child be educated in the manner against their will. So, it is still a duty of the parents that they need to educate their children because it is the children has the right to be educated by their parents. So, as what I've said, our parents is our first teacher that who we are today or what our attitude today, it is through our parents who teach this to us. Parental authority. Parental authority is natural and essential for the governance of the family. So, our parents has also a right to educate us, to say what we're going to do, to advise to us because it is their duty and responsibility as a parent. Our parents are a children has need a parental guidance. So parental authority is natural and essential for the governance of the family. So it is natural because it flows to from the responsibility of procreating and educating the offspring. So it is natural because parents has because it is natural for our parents to educate us, to advise us, and also to listen to us. And it is essential because without it, the goals of the family would be impossible to attain. And also, it is as essential. It really needs so that the goals of the family will be attained. Or if your family wants to have a peace, then you are going to listen to your parents' authority. The Family Code of the Philippines. Family Code of the Philippines, Executive Order Number 209, July 6, 1987. So, Article 211. The father or the mother shall jointly exercise parental authority over the persons of their common children, and that such children shall respect and submit themselves to this authority. So, the father and the mother has need to learn how to have an authority to their children, and also as as a children, our responsibility is to obey, to respect the authority of our parents. We need to submit ourselves in their authority so that we could have a right path in our future. Next is Article 209. Parental authority shall include the caring for and the rearing of our civic consciousness and efficiency, and the development of their moral, mental, and physical character and well-being. So it is also the parental authority shall include. So they need our parents also has the responsibility to take care for us, then to develop our moral. They are the first one to teach us our moral attitude, our mental and our physical character and well-being. For who we are today, it is because of our family. Article 210. Parents cannot renounce or transfer such parental authority unless decreed by the law. So the parents cannot renounce or transfer. If parents says that they don't want us or they don't want children, it is not it is so in Article 210, parents cannot renounce or transfer such parental authority unless decreed by the law. So if the parent says that they don't want the children because she is or he is stubborn, then it is not honor or the author or the or our authority will not honor of that unless it is decreed by the law. That's all. Thank you.
Good day. I am the next reporter for this lesson. I am Angeli Blas Bebis-Royo, BSE Mathematics from Section 1A. The previous topic tells us about the fundamental unit of the society, which is the family. They share the parental authority and the primary responsibility of the parents, which is to give an education for their children, for the child, and some of the article, the family code rather was discussed. The age of a child have the processes of growing. Still, it became the major authority that they have. Kapag isang bata ay lumalaki, nadadagdagan yung bilang, taon, edad nila, at saka yung buhay nila, they can attain their rights and know and have their responsibilities and duties. And that their authority, what is there. By for that, our lesson is all about the emancipation of the child. Emancipation literally means to free a legal process that gives once a teenager state of independence from parental authority or legal independence from their parents and guardians. Usually, at the age of 21, emancipation is also attained when first a minor enters marriage, like for example, 16 or 17 years old. And second, parents and minors, at least 18 years old, enter into agreement of such purpose that properly executed to the public instrument with a civil registration. Have the article of 2, 3, 4. That's what the emancipation means, and how could be the children to be independent by the parents' authority. Next, we have the filial piety. Filial piety derived from the Latin word, which is phallus, or we can call it son, meaning is the love and devotion which children must process to their parents. Filial piety is a natural duty of the children. Children are flesh and blood extension for their parents. They owe our parents not only in a deep if gratitude, but a scared obligation of homage. Decalogue as the express desire of God exhorts to everyone honor mother and their father. There was a commandment that God want us to honor our parents, and we have filial piety also is the respect, loyalty, and devotion to the parents are positive traits of the Filipinos. Respect, we need to respect our parents because kung wala sila, kung hindi natin sila re-respetuhin, we cannot respect ourselves also and the others na hindi natin kapamilya. Sa pagre-respeto kasi, nakikita sa isang tao ang pagmamahal sa kapwa. Loyalty, also, we need to have our loyalty not only in the family but also in others, and especially to our parents. And the devotion to parents, we need to devote it to our parents because nagaling tayo sa kanila. Yeah. And these three also have the traits of the Philippines. And neglect our parents, especially in their sickness or old age, is regarded as an act of supreme ingratitude. Okay. We don't need to neglect our parents. First of all, they do everything for us. They build us. They show their love to us. And they want us to make them proud. And also, they give us the freedom to get our dream, to make our dreams come true. And also, they protect us. And they care for us. Nalagaan tayo nila. Kaya, never neglect our parents. This kind of attitude is act of supreme ingratitude. Parang wala tayong, pakialam sa kanila, wala tayong pagmamahal sa kanila. Mali yun. Kasi, una-una sa lahat, sila ang naghirap para sa atin, sila rin ang nagbigay buhay para sa atin. Sila ang nagpakain, nagpadamig sa atin. Kaya never neglect our parents. A criminal act deserving from God's punishment. Yes, we have our God's commandment that we need to honor our parents. Honor, which means lahat na nakapaloob doon. Pagmamahal, respect, loyalty, devotion, nandun na. Kaya kung sasaktan natin o babaliwalain natin yung mga magulang natin, it's a criminal act for God's commandment that deserve to have a punishment. Kaya mali na nineglect natin yung parents natin. And then, we have this quote that ang hindi marunong lumingon sa kabuuang pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa kanyang paroroonan. This quote was very fluent. And meron akong mga taong nakilala when it comes of this quote na lahat sila hindi nakamit yung kanilang gusto. Mali talaga na tapak-tapakan ng iba, tapak-tapakan mo yung pinanggalingan mo, mali yun. Dahil this sounds more like a cross than a reminder. Now, let's proceed for the rights and duties of our parents. The family code some of the following rights and duties derived from the parental authority, with the article of 220. Okay, first, rights and duties of the parents. To keep children in their company, to support, educate, and instruct them by right precept and good example, and to provide for their upbringing in keep with their needs. This means is to building a children, giving an education, giving support, and also be a good example as a parents for the life of their children. Second, to give them love and affection, advice and counsel, companionship and understanding. Okay, every parent needs to have love for their children, their affection, kung paano mahalin ng isang anak, and give them consolation rather, and advice for what they doing, kung meron na silang mali na gawa. Give them advice, especially if your anak or if your children has the dumating sa point na they want to achieve their dreams. You have you as a parent, you need to advise the your children, and especially you need to give understanding for them, companionship. Kahit na magulang ka, kahit na ikaw yung mas sinusunod kasi ikaw yung parents, mabuti pa rin yung marunong kang magunawa sa mga anak mo. Yun ang isang example as a parent's duties. Third, to provide them with moral and spiritual guidance, inculcate them honesty, integrity, self-discipline, self-reliance, industry and thrift, stimulate their interest in civic affairs, and inspire in them compliance with their duties as a citizen. Yes, as a parents, kailangan natin ituro sa kanila kung paano disiplinahin ang kanilang sarili, to have a spiritual guidance, at saka moral, ituro sa kanila na maging honest or hindi maging pahamak sa ibang tao. To enhance, protect, preserve, and maintain their physical and mental health at all the time. As a parents, number one ito na kanilang iniisip, yung kalusugan ng isang anak, ng anak nila. Kaya, palaging nasa kanilang utak kung paano nila poprotektahan yung kanilang mga anak. Yes, tama yun. Kasi life is short lang. Buhay, iisa-isa lang ang buhay. Kaya, dapat arugain na saka mahalin yun. Yun. Next, to furnish with them with good and wholesome educational materials, supervise their activities, recreation and association with others, protect them from bad company, and prevent them from acquiring habits detrimental to their health, studies, and morals. Ito, ang rights and duties na ito, napakahalaga. No? As a parents, dapat alam natin kung ano ang pangangailangan ng isang anak sa pag-aaral nila. Kailangan natin supervise yung kanilang mga gawain. Kailangan natin protektahan na hindi makasali yung anak natin sa mga matasamang mga grupo, or like for example, gang. Yun. We have to prevent them in all matters affecting their interest. To demand from their respect and obedience. Yes, kailangan natin silang turuan. As a parent, duty nila kailangan turuan ng kanilang mga anak kung paano respetuhin ng ibang tao, respetuhin ng sarili, maging marespeto, at hindi maunawa sa lahat. Then, to impose discipline on them as it may be required under circumstances. Yes, discipline is the biggest responsibility of a parent to teach to their children, to perform such others' duties as imposed by law upon parents and guardians. Kapag merong mga protocols na pinagagawa ng parents, so ipakita para matutunan ng bata, para madali niyang maunawaan. Pero, yung mga magugandang bagay lang. Okay, that's it. Some of the duties of the children. Children must love, revere, and obey their parents. Yes, that was the number one duties. Kailangan natin mahalin, kailangan natin igalang ang ating mga magulang. Second, they must obey all the lawful commands of the parents. Yes, sundin the commands of the parents. Kung ayaw nila gawin mo to, huwag mong gawin. Sundin mo sila kasi alam nila nakakabuti yun para sa kanila. Third, they must submit to the parents' authority and decision. Yes, mas marunong ang mga magulang kaysa sa mga anak. Pero hindi naman lahat ng anak ay magulang. Nasa tama. Maaari din ang mga anak magsasubmit ng kanilang decision but needs to know. Kailangan nila ipaalam muna sa kanilang mga magulang. Because yung mga parents natin, nati-trigger kaagad sila, bakit mo ito ginawa? Bakit mo ginawa ito? Ano bang ginagawa mo? Saan ka ba pumunta? Kasi hindi ka nagpaalam. Ganun yun. Fourth, they must honor their parents at all the times, must not speak ill or evil for them. Dapat hindi mo, first thing that kailangan mong gawin, huwag mong sagot-sagutin yung mga magulang mo. Lalo na sa merong mga ill at saka evil words na lumalabas sa bibig mo. Mali yun. Mali yun. Kailangan mo silang i-honor because they are your parents. They must never harm their parents physically or normally. Huwag nyong saktan yung mga magulang nyo. Lalo na physical, sasaktan nyo na. Meron akong mga videos na nakikita about sa physical harm sa kanilang parents. Naaawa ko. Nakakaiyak. Bakit nila kayang gawin yun? Lalo na ang parents nila matanda na. Maling-mali yun talaga. Kasi yung parents natin ginawa lahat para mabuhay tayo, may makain tayo, mapalaki tayo ng maayos. Kaya wag na wag yung sila sasaktan. Never harm our parents. 6, they must consult and seek the advice of their parents in their activities. Yun, sinabi ko kanina. Kailangan lahat alam ng mga magulang. Kasi mag-aalala sila kapag hindi nila alam. Last is, they must help and support their parents in times of need, such as in sickness and weaknesses of old age. Yun. Kahit na matanda sila, alagaan pa rin natin sila. Gaya ng pag-aalaga nila sa atin na mga bata pa tayo. Yun ang importante mong gawin. Kapag tapos na kasi kayong alagaan. Kaya, sila naman. Yun. So, that's what the duties of the children. And all of that duties are important as a children. The next topic is about the exploitation of the children. Refers to any act of enticing or inducing a person to act in a manner prejudicial to his interest. A child is a person. He has the right to his physical and mental health. These human rights of a child are often violated by society itself through various forms of indirect exploitation. We have this called direct and indirect exploitation. Exploitation is direct when the inducement is intended to use a person one's evil purposes, such as they forcing a children to steal. And when it comes to exploitation, is indirect when the inducement is not intentional but not less harmful. Such is some TV shows that portraying a violent show. That was called indirect exploitation. Another topic is about the child prostitution. A child prostitution is a lamentable fact in our country, affluent in our society, and also a common issue in our community. This is the sexual exploitation and abuse of children is grossly immoral. Children have suffered this kind of abuse in many aspects, in many places in the world. And this abuse and exploitation is not acceptable for the life of the children. Those who pursue, intend, seduce, or use children for their sexual gratification deserve the heaviest penalty possible, because children can be suffer and can damage their growing and their life also. Some reasons for why child handling this kind of abuse, because of the kahirapan sa buhay, the poverty of the family. But extreme poverty is not an excuse for parents and guardians to push their child into prostitution. The integrity of the body and soul belongs even to a child who has received them from God and not from their parents or from the other people. The extreme poverty which burden the majority of the people necessarily leads to the many crimes and abuse to the child. Yes, one responsible reason is ang kahirapan sa buhay ng isang pamilya. Kaya hindi maiiwasan ng mga bata at ang kanilang, or especially ang kanilang mga parents na ilagay sa sitwasyon na ganyan ang mga bata. But sinabi nga kanina, extreme poverty is not the excuse to put your child to this prostitution, because the body of children belongs to them and God gives them as a gift to them to receive. This is my last topic, which tell about the child labor. This topic is very common and a very reality in our life. Child labor, the laughter of a children is a source of joy, but the cry of pain is anguish the child penetrates the heart, wounding it immorality. We cannot be happy while millions of children are hungry and starving in the streets. Dahil dyan, when it comes, dahil din naman sa poverty at kahirapan, na nagpupursige ang mga bata, naghahanap sila ng mga kanilang makain, kaya they want to work, they want to have some work to earn money for their foods, kung ano susuotin nila para sa kanilang pamumuhay. And Filipino culture, especially in the agriculture sectors, welcomes the idea of children working in fields with parents. Yes, here in Mindanao or here in the province, we have this Filipino culture. The people work together with their family to earn money, and the work was very common in province was the uh, agricultural sector, the farmer, or what we call magsasaka. Uh, they work for the rice, no? Nagtatanim sila ng mga uh, makakain, kagaya ng mga rice natin na ating kinakain araw-araw. And in Manila and most cities, it's common to see children vending cigarettes, wiping windshields, waiting for alms, digging the trash cans, or producing steps. There is wrong, very wrong, when children have to work as a matter of physical survival. Yes, in Manila, which is a very big society, community, or environment, is many children na naghihirap talaga, walang makain, walang matuluyan, kaya nagsisikap na magtrabaho. As lahat sila gumagawa ng mga bagay, kagaya ng pagbibinta ng mga sigarilyo kahit saan. Or meron nga ako nakikita sa TV, yung mga bata naglilinis sa sasakyan para maka-earn ng money. And also, they include themselves in wrongdoing thing to have foods and dress, or to have a money. That, for example, of stealing because they belong to a poor and poverty places. Next. Okay. The employer hires a child has a duty to protect the health and the safety of the child. She should provide for accommodations and rest. The employer cannot be indifferent since, in fact, he assumed the role of the surrogate parents. Yes. Kung sino yung mga boss sa mga bata na nagtatrabaho para sa kanila, isa sila sa naging responsable sa kanilang mga workers. Kagaya ng mga bata pala mga workers nila. Nagiging responsable sila because that child was belonged to their company, and that child was worked to their company. And that child has protected the health and the safety of their life. And need to be that child has rule of have a good life and protected. Because child is our one priority in the world. Kahit na hindi natin sila kadugo, or kahit na wala tayong kahit isang titing na tugo sa kanila, mabuti pa rin yung maawa tayo sa kanila. Kasi bata pa rin lamang sila, na kailangan din tustusan at pahalagahan talaga. Yun lang. And that's all my report. I hope you have learned, and this is all our discussion.